So everyone wants to double their money in the stock market and grow their YouTube channel at a massive pace, and therefore you fall for such clickbaity titles and such clickbaity videos. But let me tell you very honestly upfront that this is not a clickbait. Over the last 2.5 3 months, I have been able to grow my channel at a massive pace. I don't review my YouTube analytics, so I don't know how many subscribers I am gaining each day, whether it is good or bad. But on an average, I have been gaining 3,000 subscribers a day, which according to many YouTube experts is a good growth rate. Now, this video is meant not just for people who want to grow on YouTube and build their audience. This video is equally going to be important even if you don't have any aspirations of starting your YouTube channel and you just simply want to grow in your career. Because the way I have grown in my career and the strategies that I have used to grow in my career, I have adopted the same exact strategies to grow on YouTube as well. So I'm going to speak about 4 specific points and 4 specific strategies that I have used to grow on YouTube. I'm going to talk in very simple language. But before I jump into these specific points, very big thank you to all of you for helping Zain and me grow on YouTube. Really love and appreciate your support. It means the world to us. Even my mom spends half of her day reading through all the YouTube comments. So it makes our day as a family to absorb all the love and support that you have been showering on us. So Zain and I can't be more thankful. Just a request, if you love our content, please press the like button. That helps us with the YouTube algorithm and propels our growth further. So with that said, let me share the 4 specific points. Number 1, you must have fun in whatever you are doing, especially if you are pursuing something as a hobby. This point sounds really simple and there is no scientific explanation behind it, but I hope that you would see this from your own experience, that when people are having fun, when they are jovial, when they smile, when they radiate positive energy, you tend to connect more with them. I'll tell you a very brief story. So a few years ago, I was working with a client and he applied to Harvard Business School. And his profile was decent, right? I mean, of course, his profile was good because he eventually got into Harvard. But his greatest strength on the interview was that he was a very smiling type of a person. So that is something during our mocks, I told him that, you know what, you have a great presence. So play on that. Don't worry about the content. And he was all the time, he was very worried during our practice sessions that, Akshat, I'm not sure if I'll be able to crack Harvard Business School. What do you feel is my primary strength? So I told him point blank that, hey man, your strength is that you have a great presence. So just continue that on the interview. He went to the interview, he smiled, he was at ease. That is what he focused on. He was not too focused on the content and he eventually aced the interview and got into Harvard Business School. The reason why I tell you that story is every year I coach people to get into top business schools, top jobs, etc. So I do a lot of mock interviews. So I understand if someone is doing well interview-wise or not. The biggest tip I have that if you want to do well on YouTube or on interviews or in your job or with a team-based environment, you need to be a fun-loving type of a person who is a little bit carefree, because when people see you having fun, they resonate a lot with you, they connect a lot more with you. So try to develop that type of a personality. Now you would say that, hey Akshat, can you talk about how you can develop that personality? So, okay, so this can also come with practice. It's not as if that you need to fake it. I'm not saying that you should go and unnecessarily keep smiling. It should start coming naturally to you. If you're having fun in terms of doing things, be it organizing a trip, be it doing your professional work, be it engaging and having conversations with people, then automatically you will have a positive orientation. It's not necessary that you keep on smiling, but just enjoy your work, enjoy the things that you're doing. That will radiate positive energy. Therefore, the first important tip is that you must have fun, especially in this environment that nowadays the corporate environment is so hectic. Now, whether you're doing YouTube or whether you're working with McKinsey, your work life is going to be very hectic. So it's important to have fun as much as you can, enjoy the process. So for example, I really enjoy talking to all of you. I look forward to when I get to make videos. For me, it's not a task that drains out a lot of energy. I can sit in front of camera and I can speak for 5 hours a day, no problem at all. The reason is because I have trained my mind that whatever work I am doing, I need to have fun with it. So I try to organize my brain in that capacity that I'm having fun, I'm enjoying the process. This is the biggest tip that I can give you in terms of jobs or growing your YouTube channel. Now, there are 2 related tips that I would like to give you in terms of having fun. So the first tip is that do not think about results. So many a times I'm sure that you would have prepared for competitive exams like IIT or medical. What was your thought process? Do let me know in the comments. Your thought process would have been that, hey, whether or not I will clear this exam, or whether or not I'll get IIT J rank 250 and get into IIT Delhi. If you start thinking about results, that hey, I'm starting my YouTube channel and in 3 months I should have 100,000 subscribers. If you start thinking about such results, you are just unnecessarily putting a lot of pressure on you. So whenever you are starting, just be happy and content with whatever you are doing. Try to make small progress. As long as you are improving, do not think about the eventual result. Just keep focusing on the process. So this is the first related point that I would say. The second related point is that do not worry about little things. Now, when I started my YouTube channel, a lot of people used to comment that, hey, you know what, Akshat, audio is not very crisp. I took that as a feedback, tried to improve upon it. A lot of my initial videos were really bad from an audio point of view. Now people say that, hey Akshat, you do not have a bokeh effect. But guess what? Even when I have 500,000 subscribers, there will be no bokeh effect here or like green screen and all that stuff. I just like to have a heart-to-heart conversation and I love to teach. So that is what I'm focusing on. I'm least worried about the aesthetics, right? It might happen that my lighting will improve and some good location might come up, all that stuff. But I'm not too focused on it as of now. So bottom line, enjoy the process. You can only enjoy the process if you're not focused on the ultimate results. You're enjoying the process and the journey. And second, you're not worrying about little things. So this brings me to the second key specific strategy, that if you are looking to build your audience or if you are looking to grow on YouTube, you must add value to others. Now, I don't know which YouTuber said this, but there was some YouTuber who said that there are two reasons why people watch YouTube videos. Reason number one is that they want to get entertained. That you go watch a channel that entertains you. Or number two, they are looking to watch videos that are teaching you something. Now, I am not an entertainer. Now, I do tell silly jokes sometimes, but I am not an entertaining person at all from that angle. So I focused on teaching because that is what my forte is. And this is something that I feel that I can be in top 1 percentile people in India in. And therefore, I double down on that effort. Now, you might ask me that, Akshat, why do you feel that you're a good teacher? Because I have been teaching for a lot of years now. So I've been teaching since I was in class 11th. So I used to teach my friends, right? So that's where it started. Then it snowballed into me teaching for SATs, then teaching for GMAT, then teaching for GRE, then teaching for TOEFL, then doing admissions consulting, then teaching for management consulting. Even all the businesses that I run, those are edutech focused businesses where I don't predominantly teach, but I coach people now. I have been teaching for several years now, and that is what I feel is my primary strength. And that is what I brought to YouTube. Why? Because I thought that this would allow me to add value to others. So if you are someone who is clear about your value proposition, what is it that people would love to learn from you, you must figure that out and focus your channel towards that. Now, there are two related points that I would like to highlight here. So the first thing is, so you always need to work and hone your skill that you are focusing on. So in my case, that is teaching, coaching. So I read a lot about teaching and coaching. I learn new things, for example, be it cryptocurrencies, blockchain, stock markets. I have been teaching about the stock markets. To gain practical exposure in the stock market, I invest my own money. I go pay experts to speak with them. So the bottom line is that I'm really doubling down on my strengths, which is teaching. And related to that, I have tried to build my knowledge base, be it reading books, be it speaking with experts, be it going and gaining more practical experiences. Being a constant student and honing your trait is extremely important. And the second related point that I would like to talk about is the expansion of your skill. For example, in my case, I always enjoyed teaching. So management consulting is one other expertise that I have, and management consulting and teaching, according to me, it has a lot of parallels and similarities, because in teaching, you're teaching a class. In management consulting, you are somewhat teaching your client, right? You are explaining things to them. You are understanding their viewpoint. You're explaining things in a very simple manner. So I saw a lot of parallels between teaching and management consulting. So I actively picked a career path where I was able to transition from being a teacher to becoming a management consultant and now going back to teaching. Similarly, one of my best friends from INSEAD, he was a primary school teacher, and similar to me, he ended up working in management consulting. So the point is that you must always expand your skill set. In my case, it was teaching, then management consulting, running your own business, small business, startups, now investing. So slowly and slowly, in a step-by-step fashion, so I have tried to gain more and more advanced skills. So in your job, figure out if you are a coder, then what is the next step that you can take. Once you have learned Python or Ruby on Rails, whatever, then you move on to the next big thing, be it machine learning, artificial intelligence, and you keep progressing in a step-by-step sequential manner. Now, the third tip that I have for you in terms of growing on YouTube is that you must be good at analyzing what is happening. Now, I'm not saying that sit on your YouTube analytics and try to analyze that, maybe it works. I'm not that type of a person. I would simply go and read your comments and I'll get more ideas what I should be making content on. Very recently, right, just by reading through comments, I got 2 new ideas that many of you wanted me to make a video on real estate. So the video is here, you can watch it. Many of you wanted to know which 3 stocks I am investing in. So I got the idea again from the comment section itself. It's very important to understand what your audiences want. Now you might say that, hey Akshat, we don't have a YouTube audience. How does this apply to us? It does, right? For example, you're working in a professional capacity in any organization. Let's say that you're working with TCS, or you're working with Bain, or you're working with BCG. Then you have clients whom you need to interact with. You need to understand their viewpoint. You have your boss. You need to understand his or her viewpoints as well. Because these are your primary stakeholders and audiences. It's great that you're developing on your own, you're building new skills, etc., etc. But at the same time, you also need to understand what these people are wanting and expecting from you. If you do not keep their viewpoint in mind, you will not grow in your career as well. So whether you're doing YouTube or whether you're doing something in your career, make sure that you're investing time in terms of understanding your audience. With that said, in case you would want me to make any specific videos, please comment. That would mean the world to me. I'll sit and analyze and I'll get more ideas from all of you and I will definitely shoot those videos. So thanks in advance. Now let me explain the 4th and final point where I've collected all the miscellaneous points and this will hopefully act as myth busters. So first and foremost, how difficult is it to grow on YouTube? I feel that YouTube is getting extremely competitive and it is very difficult to grow on YouTube. Now, I'm not saying this to dissuade you from starting your own channel. Do it, but don't make YouTube your primary source of income because earning money on YouTube is tough. It might take years for you to make money on YouTube and live on the YouTube income sustainably. So if you're in a job, then do YouTube part-time. That's great. That's cool. It does not put a lot of pressure on you. So do it for fun. Enjoy the process, but don't keep very high expectation that within 1 or 2 years of starting my YouTube channel will explode and I'll make millions. That is very unlikely to happen and there is a lot of competition on YouTube right now. Number 2. Do you get luckier if you work hard on YouTube? The short answer is yes, right? For example, I tend to post 1 full-length, well-edited video a day. And I have been doing it for at least a couple of months. So I'll give credit to the hard work that I'm putting in terms of scaling up my YouTube. So if you feel that YouTube is a platform where you can show up, work hard, put in the effort, time, dedication, then yes, there might be good prospects on YouTube growth. But is it very easy? The answer is no. So you need to ask yourself the question whether this is the type of hard work you would like to do. Third and finally, I would talk about the core skills required to grow your YouTube channel. Of course, there are technical skills. For example, what does your YouTube setup look like? How expensive camera do you use? Lighting, this, that, editing skills. This needs to be basic. Now, unless these are tech related or filmmaking or entertainment type of channels where people look at your filmmaking skills as well. Otherwise, having a basic setup to teach is good enough. You can get started there. But then you need to think about your core skills. So core skills are communication. If you are saying 10 things, then how many points does the other person understand? That's called communication. You don't need to be the next Shashi Tharoor, but you need to have clear, crisp communication skills. Number 2, you must look confident. It should not happen as if that someone has beaten you and put you in front of a camera and now you have to start your YouTube. No, right? So you should enjoy the process. You should be confident. That's very important. You must have thinking and content making skills. So I feel that creating good content, structuring it well, presenting it well, those are the core skills that you need to invest your time in. So just to summarize the entire video, you must enjoy the process. You must develop core skills. Keep your expectations low. YouTube is a good platform to get on, but please keep your expectations low when you're starting out and leave things to the YouTube gods that they will make you famous. So luck is the final recipe for success on YouTube, like anything that you do in life. So don't depend on YouTube alone. Please do not leave your job for starting YouTube. Please do not make this type of mistakes and enjoy the process. That is what I will leave you with. So thank you so much and I will see you the next time.